So for the next 30 minutes, I'll be sharing with you what we're seeing in the marketplace with regards to digital transformation, why we think it's so critical, and also share some insight with you as to a number of the different technology components that we're using to help to underpin some of this change, some of these strategies that we've seen and have heard about. And I think the important thing is about building that roadmap, that journey at a pace to suit. Okay, so Forrester Research, on average, CIOs spend 72% of budgets managing existing technology and infrastructure, and only 28% on new innovation. And as we've just heard, digital transformation requires a shift in thinking. It's about moving from managing existing systems and infrastructure to actually looking at innovation as that key business imperative. And anyone looking to stay ahead of the competition and thrive and survive in this new world that we're moving to needs to consider this as a method of operation for the future. So what's fueling digital demand? I've put a number of aspects up there. And whether it's customers' expectation and considering the customer experience that we're delivering, the fact that we're already so social as a human race, and we use social media, the 1 billion Facebook members, the dominance of online reviews when we're making purchasing decisions. We are already digital. We live in a download and a consumption society. We've heard about Netflix and a whole host of other services online. The cloud is here, and we're used to downloading and consuming not just services, but technology as well. We live in a self-service culture, so whether we're going online and using tools such as Google to find the next bit of information, whether we're using YouTube to see how to do something and how to fix something, or whether we're going onto a price comparison site to look at who we should choose for our next insurance. One of the other factors that there is there's record levels of employment, so people are in short supply. So that's going to put a lot of pressure on organizations to deliver great service. So again, how could technology help with that? And of course, the business models are changing. We've heard a little bit about that today. And as digital transformation accelerates, it's going to change the playing field for all. So if we don't adopt and embrace it, we're going to be left in a position where it's very hard to compete. Digital transformation is helping to change the pricing, the commercial models. And if we can't compete, if we can't reduce costs, drive out in flexibility and in efficiency, we're going to have a problem. So without question, the technology is moving at a tremendous pace. I've put up a number of components. I think we've heard about most of them today, and breakout seminars will get the chance to see more. So whether it's AI, whether it's robotic process automation, machine learning, whether it's bots, digital assistants, huge amounts of data, and we saw the chart and how it's changed, machine-to-machine communication, or Internet of Things, the sensors, the devices. It's happening at a tremendous pace. It's only going to get faster. And of course, as it gets faster, as it becomes the norm, businesses are going to have to move faster as well. So how should we go about it? Well, it's very important to recognize that transformation, it's a journey, not an end goal. Will we ever get to that end position? That's a question. If we're adopting a culture of innovation and we're looking at areas where we can improve, we can drive greater efficiencies, we can serve information up better to customers, and we can join our processes together, it's a process of continual evolution. So speed, scalability, and flexibility is really important to enable you to seize the initiative. It requires a shift in focus, moving from supporting the here and now to being more adaptive, seeking out innovation and reimagining the business. Reimagining it in the way in which it serves customers and it operates and people within the business are able to perform their roles. Whether it's new channels or data insights, whether it's automation, It's about having the right infrastructure so that you can adapt, you can change, you can evolve, and you can respond to these market changes that are going to be happening. The first wave of digital transformation was delivered by cloud and managed services. And we heard from Joshua earlier on about Mitel's drive into the cloud and how the vision is that everything will move to the cloud, and the question is when. Early adopters of cloud were very quick to realize some of the commercial and operational benefits that were delivered through scalable and flexible infrastructure, very much complemented with the benefits of managed services to reduce management overhead and really free up people to innovate and start to look at new areas to work on and concentrate on. In 2010, we had a vision to build, so it was interesting to hear Mark talk about 2010 as an important year. We had a vision to build, operate and manage an enterprise cloud platform. And we wanted to take some of the world-leading providers that we've heard about today, Mitel and Avaya, into the cloud. And we wanted to augment their offerings with services, managed services and technology and innovation. We wanted to integrate new technology components and applications into those environments. And it was about how did we help to extend that and provide new control, new functionality, and moving forward, actually get customers to be part of it through web portals and configuration and self-management. You know, getting to that point where actually the views and what you're doing are customized to meet your business, your journey, and your goals, as opposed to buying a vanilla solution. One great example of this, we've worked with many organizations to support this transformation. As a business called Market Study Group. So worked with them for a number of years now, started through with auto windscreens. And what they were looking to do was their own process of digital transformation. So move to a consolidated single platform for UC and contact center to improve communications, processes, and improve customer service. And, you know, we worked with them and we were looking at various options, and the team envisaged a way forward, which is a cloud and hosted platform to bring all this investment together that they'd made into a single solution that they could bring acquisitions that we're making into that group system, manage it centrally, and then start to really support this innovation culture of adding new technology and looking at how and where changes and improvements could be made, and then rapidly testing and deploying new technology. And it was about how did they empower the staff with the technology, and how did they create that culture of innovation. So as we've heard from Maria, it's really important. We'll come on to that shortly. So this is Dan Fiennes, Group COO of Market Study, said some very kind words about us. And to me, it really embodies what we're about. And, you know, we are there to work with customers, to look at all the different options available, understand the journey and the path that they're on, and then help to apply technology to support and underpin the transformation programs that they want to go through. So culture is really important. You know, Market Study is definitely a great example of a business with the right culture. You know, regularly recognized as you know, great place to work within. So that inquisitive, innovative, collaborative culture is really important as part of this change towards digital transformation. And of course, we shouldn't forget that it is all about the people. Yeah, you know, we don't want to be in a position where people are having to bend how they work because the technology doesn't suit, it doesn't work how they need it to work. We don't want to be in an environment where people have got to turn around to a customer and say, you know, the computer says no. We want to empower people. And of course, happy customers equals happy staff and vice versa. And disjointed technology is going to do nothing to promote good user experience or good customer experience. And we've already heard about the importance of customer experience, you know, the Gartner stats, so lots of stats to underpin what we're talking about. Gartner state that 89% of companies will compete mainly on the basis of customer experience in the future. And I think, it's something that we have to consider. We have to consider the people within the business, and we have to consider the customer experience. Because, of course, we get it right, we're really going to strengthen our brand, our reputation, our advocacy. We get it wrong, it's going to have a disastrous impact in this socially connected world that we live in today. And it's not going to do a great deal to staff motivation either. Okay, so the interactions. It doesn't matter which generation you ask or talk to, and I've been asking my kids this as well, just to get some younger people's views. So whether you ask baby boomers, Generation X, Y, Z, millennials, or this new digerati that's going to appear, human nature dictates the same thing. When we contact an organization, the contact and the interaction is between that person and that organization. So whether it's through traditional channels or whether it's through new digital methods, it really should be convenient, it should be effective, it should be frictionless, and it should be personalized. Interesting here about the silo culture, and I think we've seen this with early moves towards embracing digital channels. A lot of those have been consumer-based technologies. So whether it's mobile apps, WhatsApp, SMS, chat systems, or social media, a lot of what we've seen is organizations have been approaching this in a tactical manner. So, they'll go and find a system to address chat. They'll go and implement email into a particular team. They'll want to look at, could we deliver social media scanning? And what actually happens is you end up with separate technology and separate teams of people and separate processes. So people are going about looking at trying to embrace these new channels, but they're not joining it together. So the experience that customers are getting is very disjointed. It is that silo culture in the way in which the technology has been brought in. And customers want choice. They want choice in how they communicate with you. And again, what's important to consider is that the channel and the methods that they will use would be dependent upon a point in time. It will be about how they feel at that time, where they are, what time it is, and the nature of the inquiry. If it's a low value, a low emotional importance inquiry to them, then they may well choose a non-real-time communication, such as email. If it's something that's very emotive and high value, they're probably going to want to pick the phone up and talk to somebody now. They don't want to go through layers of IVR. So again, when we're looking at our journeys that we're going through, when we're looking at digital transformation, I think it's important to look at these different interactions as transactions. Yeah. So look at the workflow, look at the process, because customers want an outcome. They want to order a product, they want to consume a service, they want to book a repair, they want to get certain information. And by all means, the manner in which they contact you can differ, but their expectations are going to be the same. They're contacting you as an organization, and they're not contacting, in their mind, different teams of people. They don't want to be passed from one person to another and have to move from one channel to another. They want a seamless, easy, frictionless experience. So a good place to start is to set a vision. So how are we working today? How do we want to transform the organization and the services that we provide? Within that, we could be looking at specific problems or improvements we want to achieve. So this is, again, a very good way because, if we're going to invest in change, we want to be able to deliver some value back to the business so that we can carry on this process of transformation and change. So we look at problems, we look at improvement areas, we look at changes that are happening that we need to support. GDPR was a great example. But then we should also be looking at opportunities to do things differently, disrupt, transform. So look at key workflows, look at customer journeys, pick things where there's high volume of interactions, high volumes of tasks and activities that are created in the back end. What if we were to be able to improve the way in which we deal with these? What if we could improve the customer satisfaction and the efficiency of the way in which we do it? There's some real significant gains there. I would say it's important to adopt a systems thinking approach rather than starting with the technology, which is an interesting position from a guy from a technology company, right? But it's about visualizing the experience that you want to deliver to customers and to staff, and then work out how you join the people, the process, and the technology together to achieve those goals and that vision. 5 areas to help with the success of it, up there on the slide. Customer experience, operational agility, culture and leadership, which we've already heard about. How do you mobilize the workforce and enable that? And then how do you start to integrate these different technologies into the journey and the platform? We're seeing 2 extreme ends of the scale. So from automation to personalization, there's no one size fits all. Both of these scales are very valid and they can coexist together. We can use automation to start to free up resource. We've heard some examples of this earlier on. You'll get to hear more examples in the breakout seminar as well. If we can understand what somebody is contacting us about, the context, the emotion, the relationships, the preferences, if we're able to use technology to connect the consumer, the customer, to the right member of staff in the right way at the right time, and have dealt with all the things that we could deal with through automation to get to there, what's the impact going to be for customers and staff? What if we could automate 80% of those interactions? What impact would that have to customers, and what impact would it have to staff performance, efficiency, and morale? There is a shift in channels. We're seeing this, and we're certainly seeing more and more demand for digital channels today. So web chat and social media, huge amount of interest and adoption of those technologies, and people are looking at how they can bring them into the contact center. The financial argument for self-service is really strong, yeah? So, if we look at the cost of a live agent interaction, these are figures from the Contact Babel research report, and then we look at some of the automated interaction through either IVR or conversational AI tools and bots that we've heard about today, the savings are massive. It can be up to 20 times the cost to service a customer through a live agent, whatever the channel is selected, versus automated methods. So it's not a case of advocating getting rid of people. It's a case of where and how could we use technology and automation to automate low-level repetitive tasks and free people up to deliver value. Role of AI in the contact center, a lot of talk about it. We've already heard about it. And one of the breakout seminars will give you an opportunity to see it in action and hear more. 90% of managers in contact centers believe that AI will be used to support call center agents. It's not about taking jobs away, it's about supporting them. Too much information. So much information is available out there, whether we go on Google, whether we're looking at websites, whether we're looking at intranets and knowledge bases. So the question is, how do you connect that information and present it to people quickly and efficiently to support that interaction? 96% of the information that's used by call center agents is on their own website. What's stopping the consumer finding that information, accessing it, and self-serving? And there's a number of reasons for that. So again, technology can help with it. So there's lots of tech available. We've got a few things up on the screen there. I'm just going to provide a little bit of insight into some of the tech that we're delivering and how it's helping to support transformation programs. So unified communications. There hasn't been a huge amount of talk about it today, but I think it's really important when we start looking at how we bring people together, how we get people to work more effectively through some of these technologies. So Avaya's Equinox and Mitel's MyCollab, which you can see on the stands upstairs, have really empowered staff to work irrespective of location and device, supporting flexible and collaborative working environments, And ultimately, it's about an easy-to-use, intuitive software application. It joins up people, it joins up communication device, and it should make it easier for people to do their job, right? Presence and availability indicators helps to identify different people in the organization, skill sets, who's available, how to drive improvements in first call resolution and share knowledge. And of course, team working spaces really help to connect the distributed workforce like never before. Single application in the contact center, omni-channel. So omni-channel, it's about being in a position not just to accommodate these different channels in a silo nature, but actually embrace them, bring them in, and move from one channel to another live, seamlessly, without impacting upon that customer contact. It should be flexible, it should be adaptive, it should enable you to move from one channel to another. And certainly what we're seeing is as the move to contact center solutions is moving into web-based systems, and certainly with the advent of more open APIs, we're now in a position where we can start to plug new systems, new methods, extend data, information, and control to agents on a single pane of glass, a single desktop view like never before. We don't need to be in that situation where we're moving through 6, 7 different applications anymore. WebRTC, another technology that we use as part of our digital review and enablement. So it's helping to really leverage this investment that we all make in driving people to the website. You know, the website is usually the first point of contact. Commercial businesses spend a lot of money driving people to the website. So the question is, when we get them there, what are we going to do? How are we going to engage? You know, are we using chat systems? If we are, can we seamlessly move from a chat to a voice call? Could we share screens and guide people through what they're doing on the web? Could we stream video through? And all of these things are very possible. And it helps to, importantly, provide the context around why that person is on the website and what they're looking to do. Because as that contact comes in, the person in the call center can see the page they're looking at. You know, they can now guide them through the website and the forms and the information and the process. It really helps to join up the digital platform with the people in the contact center. Social media, so massive increase in social media. And we're providing technology that helps to scan and understand what's being said out there in the social world, whether it's word spotting, sentiment analysis, and delivers messages and routing directly into the contact center, into the right people, and vice versa. It enables you to actually create an environment where you can communicate and manage what's going on out there in the social world. We've heard a lot about voice-activated digital assistants. So we've got a lovely picture up there. Big growth in digital assistants. We heard from Mark, I think it was over 20 million Alexas have been sold worldwide. There's a new opportunity to voice enable these types of consumer products and consumer tech. And we heard about some of the challenges around building skills within that technology. So what we've done is we've used an RPA layer, robotic process automation layer, to create an environment where you can easily build microprocesses. So you can build your own processes that connect to Alexa, so you can have voice fulfillment for service in the home, in the office, and even, I think the demo we've got upstairs is in the hotel room. So talking to Alexa, booking a room, booking a table in the restaurant, ordering a taxi, and actually have Alexa talk back to you, drive the notifications to the right teams and the right staff, and record what's going on. So again, it's changing the way in which people are operating. Amy, so there is a breakout seminar. Hello, Louis, put your hand up. So Louis is running the breakout seminar upstairs at 2:45 around Amy. Conversational AI, it's a really big opportunity to streamline some of these initial interactions that people get through the web. So whether it's the service triage, whether it's lead qualification, Amy is a machine learning, natural language AI chat system that sits on the website, will read, will learn, and will interact with customers, will join your customers to your staff at the right time and in the right way after taking a lot of the mundane activities and tasks away. You'll hear from Louis all the great things, if you go to his talk later, that Amy can do, but she's already handled over 10 million conversations as a platform, so huge amount of growth and proven technology that could integrate into Avaya and Mitel systems. There's some stats up there from Cruise First, which is a case study, and I think the important thing is that it's very positive. It's helped them grow their business as a result of using the technology in a short space of time. Right, last few slides and then it's lunch. So I think what we're going to see is the opportunity for something called the blended workforce, so bringing automation and AI together with people. So the example here is using Amy as an automated interaction tool on the website, but then also passing those interactions over to people. So joining up the technology, the AI tools, the robotics to the people to deliver a service. And of course, we can also then start to serve up information from our data sources, from our knowledge base, as we saw earlier on, and actually create an environment where AI becomes IA, the intelligent agent, serving up contextual-based information to support that interaction. What's going to be really important is a flexible and adaptive architecture. So all of these things can be delivered today. They can be plugged in today. We talked about the move to cloud as a way of actually starting to move to a more flexible architecture for people to integrate with and consume. So that's something we've been doing and continue to do since the 2010 plan. And what we're seeing now is the opportunity through APIs, REST APIs, to connect into this orchestration layer where you set the business rules and then you start to extend control and functionality and information and communication channels via the website or via mobile apps or via social media. Embrace things like machine-to-machine communication. support the reviews of different parameters within machines or the defibrillators that we heard about. And of course, then be in a position where you can customize the views of that single screen for the staff as well. Serve up the content, the information, the data, the interaction tools that they need at that point in time to support that context. So we'll see things like context routing. We'll see the ability to actually plug in custom views and applications and pull this information in the data layer and actually start to make decisions on what's going on. So whether that's using machine learning or AI, we believe that this is very much the future, and the future isn't a long way off. These are things we can deliver today. So we'll happily talk through on the stand the approach, and in fact, we've been going through it as well, right? Digital transformation is for everyone. As a business, we don't stand still. We're committed to not only delivering and supporting transformation programs for customers, but doing it within our own business as well, because it makes sense. So we're always looking at how and where we can improve. Upstairs, we're able to show you on the stand the first view of our web UI directly into our second generation SIP platform, giving customers control, access to analytics, looking at different dashboards, so configuring the views through widgets that you can build yourself. Lots and lots more besides, and it's going to become the platform for us to deliver and extend new services and new features into the future. So, what can Britannic do? Well, we have a tried and tested methodology for helping to deliver successful projects. We call it the 5 Ds. So we work with customers to discover where they're at, where they want to get to, what's in place, We then start to demonstrate. So, that concept of seeing what's available, understanding it, trying it, putting the technology in front of user groups, getting some feedback, imagining how it could work within your own business. Design a solution, design a plan, design a way forward, and then deliver, test, and of course then ongoing, develop. It's important to get that flexible and adaptive architecture for the future. And certainly that's what we're focused on with customers, is to not only deliver an end project, but importantly, to carry on working forward together to continue to evolve the use of technology to support digital transformation. So in summary, by harnessing the tech and innovation from partners with our own in-house applications, services and skills, we're able to build a tailored plan and vision for each of our customers. So we plan, we design, we deliver world-class solutions for today, but also give that roadmap to the future and the path to the future. Whether we like it or not, we live in a digital world, and digital transformation is critical to the future. Get it right, we can gain competitive advantage and future survival. So in the spirit of not moving on, that's it. In the spirit of, I think, all the other presentations that have gone before, I've listed some takeaways. We're going to provide the slides after this, but summary of some of the points I've gone through. There's lots of other ideas that we can share with you. So if you want some help, don't worry, we're on hand. My team's on hand. We've got a lot of experience in doing this, so we can help to guide you through the process that I'm sure you'll be on. So, all that is left for me to do is to pose the final question. How will you reimagine your business to thrive and survive in this new digital world? Thank you.